Cars are meant to take us from point A to point B, but as consumers, we sometimes can't help but get caught up on how a car makes us feel, how it invigorates our senses. And manufacturers know this, and that's why they offer us heaps of features. Some features we don't even need, and that comes at a price. Fortunately though, there are still cars out there that are designed to get you merely from point A to point B. But does owning such a car equate to a hefty compromise? Well, today we're going to find out by taking a look at a prime example of an Econobox, the Mitsubishi Mirage G4 GLX. The base model Mirage comes with a no-frills exterior. You get halogen headlights and no fog lamps on this base model Mirage. The front grille has 3 horizontal lines. On top of the grille lies the Mitsubishi emblem, which has 3 diamonds. Behind the grille is the 1.2-liter engine, which has 3 cylinders. Along the side are simple character lines. You also get 15-inch alloy rims, which actually look bigger because of the thin sidewall. What makes this car look really dated are these door handles. They look like something from the 90s. The doors also require a bit of force to close. The latest Mirage gets a new bumper and revised taillights. So stepping inside the Mirage, you won't be surprised to find that everything around you is made of hard plastic. The dash, the door panel, the center console, even parts of the steering wheel have hard plastics. And that's fine for a car at this price point. Looking around you, you'll find that everything is also black. The only thing that breaks that monotony are these silver accents on the steering wheel and chrome touches on the AC controls. What's somewhat unforgivable though are things you'll notice that speak towards the vehicle's build quality. For example, when you look at the sun visors, you'll see that there are bulges here. And when you flip them down, they feel really flimsy. Plus, there are vanity mirrors for both the passenger and the driver, but it looks like they were stuck on there using bubble gum because they're not even flushed into the visor. One thing I like about the interior are these seats. They are really comfortable. The only drawback would be the sitting position because for some reason, I always feel like I'm too far from the steering wheel. So sitting at the back, you'll see that there's a decent amount of space. This seat is all the way back and yet my knees aren't rubbing against it. There's also a decent amount of headroom. Now, I'm also not sitting upright, so it's a very comfortable space to be in. It definitely does not feel like you're in a sardine can here. Okay, so we're behind the wheel of the Mitsubishi Mirage G4 GLX variant. And I guess the big question is, does an entry-level Econobox feel like a chore to drive? That's what we're about to find out. First impression is, it's pretty easy to drive. There's good visibility, and it's a small car, so it makes you feel like you can take it anywhere. So as far as power is concerned, the acceleration obviously isn't going to blow your mind away. But at least there's power on demand. And that's what's important. Driving this thing around the city, it doesn't even feel like it's underpowered. You only start to feel the engine struggle when you start going uphill. But I think the CVT does a good job to somewhat compensate for that. Only problem is you'll hear it struggle as you floor the gas pedal. As far as handling is concerned, it does grip corners quite adequately. but there's an excessive amount of body roll. Steering feel. I'm moving the steering wheel left and right, and I'm still moving straight. Stopping power. The brakes actually need a little bit more force than you'd expect from a car this light. But the good thing about it is that it's progressive, so there's that linear feeling, and it's very predictable in terms of when you want it to stop. Another thing I noticed is that this vehicle is fairly new, but you can already hear some rattles coming from the dashboard. I don't know if you can hear it on camera, but I can definitely hear it from where I sit. So as far as the ride is concerned, you do feel some of the bumps, but it's not jarring. Overall, it's still a very comfortable ride because the suspension is quite compliant. The downside of that is there's excessive body roll around the corners. I've been driving this thing for about an hour now within Metro Manila, and yet I don't feel tired. I don't feel stressed out. Well, I kind of do feel stressed out because of all the kamote riders, but it has nothing to do with how it feels like to drive this thing. So to sum it up, this isn't a bad car to drive. If you were to use this to get from point A to point B on a daily basis, driving wouldn't feel like a chore. There's not much compromise. Yes, it's not perfect, but you can't expect sporty driving dynamics from something at this price point. And for what it is, it's very convenient to drive. Visibility is good, it's easy to maneuver, and the best part is it's really efficient. I've been driving this like a 10-year-old, and I'm still getting about 15 kilometers per liter. Now, that's pretty good. Okay, so let's recap our review of the Mitsubishi Mirage G4 GLX. Starting with the pros. First of all, there's the fuel efficiency. Getting 15 kilometers per liter in the city is just phenomenal. Second, there's space. It doesn't feel like a sardine can inside, even if it's a subcompact. Third, it's easy and painless to drive. It's definitely something you can use on a daily basis, and it's not going to feel taxing. But then there are certain areas for improvement, starting with the build quality. There are visible screws throughout the car. There are certain parts that feel flimsy and dated. Second, the steering. It feels vague and disconnected. Third, body roll is quite excessive, but at least the suspension is compliant. So overall, it gets the job done without taking its toll on you. Definitely something you can use on a daily basis just to get from point A to point B. One thing to take into consideration though is that the Mitsubishi Mirage is not the only car in that price point. So that sums it up for our review of the Mitsubishi Mirage G4. Thank you for bearing with us. Till the next video, please like and subscribe. Thank you.